and welcome to my YouTube channel Things Simplified. Let's learn Python. From whatever we have learnt, let us create one small Python program, okay, to record banking like transactions, and at the end display the transactions, whatever transactions have been done. Okay, deposit should be added to the balance, withdrawal should be subtracted from balance. Okay, you should be able to record one or many transactions until the user exists. Okay, now here, before we start writing a program, we should have a specific plan about how should we solve this problem. Now, observing this, we will require one variable called balance. Okay, one variable to accept this, whether it is a deposit or a withdrawal, right? These three we require. These are most important to record the transactions and until the user exits. So what we will do is, we will have to write, see here, until the user exists, it means that there is some loop, right? So the better loop will be here using while. Okay, so while some condition, go on asking whether it is deposit, withdrawal, and what is the amount of deposit, amount of withdrawal. Okay, until the user exists, that is, so how to know that user exists? Where we record deposit or withdrawal, we will ask the user to enter, say for example, E for exit, D for deposit, W for withdrawal, right? So let us start. We have to write one while statement while the user exists. Okay, it does not exist. Okay, so till the user enters transaction, we will have to record them, and once the user presses exit, then the program should come out, and at the end display the transactions whatever we have entered, right? So let us start. We will save this as bank transaction.py. We will save it. Okay, now start. We will start with the definition of defining balance. This will be the balance. Say for example, we have 10,000 rupees as balance. Okay, now we have to record another is the deposits or withdrawals or exit, right? So we will have to define one variable, for example transaction code. It will be equal to, say, x. Okay, it will be equal to x, right? Now comes while. Okay, while what will be the condition? While transaction code not equal to x, not equal to E, right? It will exit, right? When the user presses E, he should exit, right? So now let us start while. While transaction code not equal to E, that means the user has not entered E. That is, he doesn't want to exit. He wants to enter transactions. Now let us ask him what type of transaction he is going to make, whether it is a deposit, a withdrawal or exit, right? So for the user to know, we'll print this, enter D for deposit, okay, W withdrawal, E for exit. Okay, solving this such problems is very interesting. That is why you should know the programming concepts properly, right? Now it will print enter D for deposit, W for withdrawal, and E to exit. Now, how to know what the user has? We have to have an input statement. Input will be the user input. Now, TRN code will be the variable, okay, equal to. Now here we will ask user to we will say input here, input enter transaction code, okay, and then comma here enter transaction code, complete the input. So whatever input has been done by the user, it will be stored in TRN code. Now there is a possibility of the user not entering D, capital D or capital W or E, okay. So in that case, what should be done is we have to store this in uppercase. Suppose the user presses small, that is lowercase d, then it should be converted to capital D. Like for the function for that is string dot upper, string dot upper. Okay. So whatever the user enters, it is capitalized and stored in transaction code, right? Now we will ask the user to input the amount. So we will have another variable called amount. Amount is equal to input enter amount, right? Okay. Now here this is how the Python input works. It will display whatever you have specified here, okay, and it will display and it will wait for the user to input, right? Here in Python, whatever input is accepted from the user, it is in string format. So we will have to convert it into number here because amount is in number, right? So there is a function called int, open bracket, and here the entire thing should be written in the bracket, that is whatever the user inputs, it is converted into number, integer, right? Now our balance is 10,000 rupees, right? So if a user presses withdrawal, it should not exceed 10,000. If the user presses deposit, then he can add any amount to the balance. Now we will check whether he has what he has input. So using a if statement, if TRN code is equal to D, if he has entered deposit, then what should we do is we should add the amount to the balance. So the balance here is balance field plus equal to whatever is there in the balance, add this amount, right? Okay. Now next, now if transaction code is equal to withdrawal, now here directly we cannot add, we cannot subtract the amount because the balance may not be sufficient here. So if transaction code is equal to W withdrawal, first we will check whether there is sufficient balance able to withdraw the amount entered. Now here we will have another if amount is greater than balance, then it should not allow, right? It should say it should display error message says insufficient balance, and we will display balance here also, so that he will come to know what is the balance, right? So here nothing should be added here. Now here else, that is amount is not greater than the balance, so he can withdraw the amount. So here we will write one expression to calculate the balance. Now just like we did it here, balance is plus equal to amount, that is balance equal to balance plus amount. Now here balance is equal to balance minus amount, balance minus amount. So here balance will get reduced, right? This will come if there is a balance, right? Otherwise this should not be executed. So what we will do is we will put one else here, else balance is equal to balance minus amount, right? So now if the user presses D, balance will get added, amount will get added to the balance. If the user presses W, it will check whether amount is greater than balance. If such is the thing, it will display insufficient. Otherwise here it will come balance minus equal to amount, then it will calculate the balance. Okay, now this is the at the end of the transaction code for W, right? Now here if we come back here, now we will print the balance here, print the balance is now, what is the balance? Balance field, balance variable is the balance, right? Now it will print what is the balance. Okay, now shall we check this, and then we will try how to record the transaction. Firstly we will see how this works. Okay, now here once the user has pressed E, he should exit, and now here we will print while loop, end of while loop, while loop. Okay, now if the user presses E, that is exit, it should come out of this while, right? So now here we will check, after this the transaction code, we will check whether he has entered exit. Okay, now what should we do? You just come out of this while, say using by break statement, right? Break. Understood? So as soon as the user enters E, this will come out of the while and it will print end of while loop, right? Okay, so far I think this will work, and then if this works, we will decide how to record the transactions and display the transactions here after this print statement, right? So let us save and check. Run this. I think this should work. There is no problem, I think. Okay, now here enter D for deposit, W for withdrawal, E to exit, right? Enter transaction code. Now we will have to deposit some amount here, enter transaction code D, right? So here if transaction code is E, he has not entered E, so this won't execute, right? So enter amount, say 1000 rupees. Okay, so he has deposited 1000 rupees into the bank, which we had 10,000 as the balance, right? Now see, now the balance is now rupees 11,000, that 10,000 plus 1000, it is 11,000. Now again it is showing enter deposit, withdrawal, exit. Okay, until the user presses E, this will keep on executing, right? Now let us have another deposit, 2000 rupees. Now it should show 13,000 rupees as a balance, right? Yes, So it has shown 13,000. Now we will enter one withdrawal. Okay, now remember that balance is only 13,000. It should not allow if we enter 13,001 onwards. Okay, 13,001. So it shows insufficient balance. Balance is only 13,000. Okay, enter D again. So we will withdraw one more transaction, say 150 rupees. Okay, so out of 13,000 minus 150. So now it is showing that 12,850, right? So the user can go on entering the transactions. Again withdrawal, say 100 rupees. Again it will be the balance will be reduced by 100 rupees, right? So we have satisfied this. You should be this withdrawal should be and record many transactions until user exists. This condition is satisfied now. Now only thing remaining is that we should record the transactions and display. Now we will press exit here. Now it has come out end of while loop here, end of while loop, and the program ends here, right? Now how to store this transaction? How to store for every transaction? There might be many transactions, one or many transactions. Now here we have entered some 4 to 5 transactions. The program should be able to record these 4 or 5 transactions correctly and then display at the end, right? So now how to do it? For every transaction we have to store, there is a transaction code, amount and the balance, right? Okay. So let us store this in a list. Now you will see transactions. Transaction list should be declared before while transactions equal to, we will define list. How should we define list? We should define the elements in a array by within a square bracket. So this is the square bracket. Okay. Initially what we will do is we will store amount as 0 here. We store amount as 0 here, and now we will store transaction, whether it is deposit or withdrawal, transaction code and the balance. Okay. Now before user starts entering the transactions, there will be one balance field, there will be a transaction code. This is a transaction, this is a transaction list. Okay. So now if we for the transaction, if we add amount, the transaction code and the balance to this transaction, it will create the elements will get added here at the end of this, okay. But we do not want this. What we want is we want to have a list containing lists, okay. That is like, just like we say array of arrays, we will have to say list of lists. Okay, so to create list within a list, how to do it? Again include it in the square bracket. Include this in the square bracket. Now we know how to create a list of lists, okay. Firstly, we have stored 0 here for amount, then the transaction code and the balance. Now, this balance will be the opening balance. So let us write here O itself, so that it will mean correctly opening balance, right? Okay. First time it will be O, that is here. First element in this list will be this, okay. It will contain balance, amount, the transaction code as O and the balance, right? So and after now it is easier now, since we know the technique of creating a list of lists. It will be easy for you to store the rest, all the transactions in this TRNS list, right? So after successful transaction only we will store, right? So now here amount is there. Okay, now here after the deposit is a transaction takes place, we will store this. How to do it? We will create one variable like transaction detail equal to we will create one the list of list, and we will add it to the transactions. Okay, now here what we will store is the amount. Here amount is a transaction amount, right? And we will have to store what is the transaction code. This is the transaction code. And what is the balance? Okay, this is the balance, right? Now we have to add this into the at the end of this transaction list. So TRNS plus equal to TRN detail, right? Now this that is here amount, transaction code and balance will get added to this list. Okay, so for deposits we have done this. So now we will do it for withdrawals. So now here amount greater than balance, here it is an error, so we will not store it here. So here else balance equal to balance minus amount. Now we will store it here, right? Same TRN DT is equal to amount, the transaction code and the balance, right? Okay. Now since we are adding this individually, this TRNS will contain all such transactions separated by commas here. So each individual list will be an element for this main TRNS list. So at the end of the program, we will display this list. So how to display it? We can use a for statement. For each transaction in the transactions list, that is for TRN in TRNS. Okay, now here we will be able to access individual elements. So let us print this. Print TRN. Now print TRN will print the entire whatever elements are there in this first index, then second index, third index. So it will print all the transactions here. Okay, now let us compile and check here. Save, run. Okay, now it will ask again. We will have one deposit 100 rupees. Again we will have deposit 200 rupees. Balance is now 10,300. Again we will have a deposit of 2,000 rupees. It will be 12,300. We will have a withdrawal 100 rupees. Okay, balance became 12,200. Another withdrawal transaction 500 rupees. Balance is now 11,700. Now we will exit and we will check whether the last balance is 11,700. Okay, exit. Yes. Now see here for individual transaction in this list, it has printed this individual list, right? So it has not stored a withdrawal. Right, see here we have not stored this detail in the main transaction. That is why withdrawal transactions have not come. So TRNS plus equal to TRN detail, right? Now it will get stored into the main, and we will see that withdrawals here in this. Because balance is 11,700, we saw that withdrawal entries have not come here. Okay. So now we have added the individual transaction detail to this main transaction list. Now let us save and run this. Again we will have one deposit here, 100 rupees, deposit 2000 rupees, deposit 3000 rupees, balance is 15,100, withdrawals 100 rupees, balance is 15,000, again withdraw 5,000 rupees. Okay, now balance become 10,000 again, withdrawal 1 2 3 4, balance is 8766, right? Now we will exit and we will check whether all the transactions have come or not, whether the last balance is 8766. So now let us exit. Right. Okay, so all the transactions have appeared here, right? So this output is in form of a list. So here, if you want to print it separately, that is amount column, then the transaction code column and the amount column, you can access here also, like print TRN and the index, individual index you have to specify. So to print the individual elements of this array. Now here it will print 0 here, next it will print 1 for index 1, index 2, right? So this is how we have to write a small program. So see how easy it is, how simpler it is. Just by watching the video or watching the tutorials, reading the tutorials won't make you a perfect programmer. Okay, you have to do it yourself. That is why in my tutorials I am actually doing it, so that you will come to know and you can do the same at your end. Okay, so write the program and then execute it. You will be happy if it works, and if it doesn't work, then you will have to check the program where the error is. You have to debug it, then only you will find the solution for that. Okay, now only thing here is every time we have to enter all these transactions, right? So in order to have your own bank entries recording, what you have to do is you can store this list into some file. Maybe for the beginners, you can store these values in a text file, read the text file individually, then you can add the transactions at the end of the file and again store the file. Okay, this you can do. You can also create an output file with CSV formatting, that is comma separated values, so that file can be also opened in Microsoft Excel. Okay.
Thanks for watching. If you found this video useful and informative, make sure to like the video, to show your support. Leave a comment below to share your thoughts and ask questions. Subscribe to our channel for more valuable content. Hit the bell icon to never miss an update. Share this video with friends who might need it. If you encountered any issues or have any problems, please let me know in the comment section. I am here to help.